Students, you will learn about the Open System Interconnection, that is OSI model. As networking became the norms for businesses, the need arose for businesses to be able to connect with each other even though their equipments and systems were different. In 1978, the International Organization for Standardization (ISO) developed an architecture that would allow the devices of different manufacturers to work together to communicate with different operating systems. In 1984, the ISO architecture became an international standard known as the Open System Interconnection (OSI) reference model. This architecture determines how hardware, software, topologies, and protocols exist and operates on a network. The OSI model is based on 7 layers as shown in figure. Each layer adds functionality to the previous layer and communicate with the layers directly above and below it. Because each layer of OSI model handles a different part of communication processes, it makes the troubleshooting process a little easier because it provides specifications on how components should function. The main idea behind the OSI model is that exchanging of data between two endpoints in a network can be divided into layers, with each layer adding its own set of special functions. Each communicating application is at a computer equipped with these layers. The actual programming and hardware that furnishes these layers to usually a combination of applications, the computer operating system, transport and network protocols, and the software and hardware that enables you to put a signal on one of the lines attached to your computer. OSI model is a communication model. It is used in the telecommunications industry as well as in networking industry. Actual communication is made possible by using communication protocols. A protocol is a set of rules and conventions that governs how computers exchange information over a network medium. The OSI layer use various forms of control information to communicate with their equal layers in other computer systems. This information consists of specific requests and instructions that are exchanged between equal OSI layers. The data to be exchanged is broken down into packets. All packets consist of a header, data, and a trailer. The header contains the source and destination addresses, clocking information, and an alert signal. The data section contains the actual data or payload. The trailer contains information to verify that and contents of packet are valid. Control information is then added to the packets. Control information typically takes one of two forms, header and trailers. Header and trailers information is added or removed as a data passes from layer to layer. Error checking determines whether transmitted data has become corrupt or damaged while traveling from the source to the destination. Error checking is implemented at several of the OSI layers. A common error checking method is the cyclic redundancy check (CRC) that detects and discards corrupted data. Flow control prevents network congestion by ensuring that transmitting devices do not flood receiving devices with data. A high-speed modem may generate traffic faster than the destination modem can receive and process it. The three commonly used methods for handling network congestions are windowing, buffering, and transmitting source quench messages. Windowing is a flow control scheme in which the source device requires an acknowledgement from the destination after a certain number of packets have been transmitted. If the destination does not receive one or more of the packets for some reason, it does not receive enough packets to send an acknowledgement. The source then retransmit the packets at a reduced transmission rate. The buffering is used to temporarily store bytes of excess data in a memory by network devices until they can process. Receiving devices use source quench messages to help prevent their buffers from overflowing. Handles the mechanical and electrical communications. Okay. Physical layer, that is layer number 1. Okay. So it handles the mechanical and electrical communications. It translates bit ones and zeros into data that can be transmitted. Layer 1 specifications determine the shape, size, and pin out of connectors, what voltages and currents are used, and how the physical media and electrical components work together. Devices that operates at a physical layer include network interface cards, hubs, repeaters, multi-station SS units, media filter, and transceivers. Data link layer, layer number 2, provides flow, error control, and synchronization for the physical layer. It takes information from the network layer and sends it to the intended device through the physical layer on the same network. The specifications defined at this layer are network and protocol characteristics. Error notification alerts upper layer protocol that a transmission error has occurred and sequencing recorders frames that are transmitted out of order. Flow control monitors the transmission of data so that the receiving device is not overwhelmed with more traffic than it can handle at one time. The IEEE 802.2 specification has divided the data link layer into two sublayers, the logical link control LLC layer and media access control MAC layer. Logical link control LLC layer manages communications between devices over a single link. This includes checking for errors and flow control. The LLC supports both connectionless and connection-oriented services used by higher layer protocols. Media Access Control MAC sublayer of data link layer manages protocol access to the physical network medium. The MAC layer control access and network adapter card drivers. MAC addresses enables multiple devices to uniquely identify one another. These unique addresses are assigned at the manufacturer. Because it only understands the MAC address, this layer cannot route to other networks. It can only pass on packets in its own segments. Devices that operates at this layer are bridges, switches, and routers. OSI Data Link Layer 3 manages the routing of packets that are to be forwarded onto different networks. The network layer relies on the use of routable protocols to deliver packets to distant networks. The network layer defines the network address, which is different from the MAC address. The MAC address is considered the physical address and the network address is considered the logical address. Because network layer defines the logical network layout, routers can use it to determine how to forward packets. Routers function at this layer. Much of the design and configuration of a network is done here. Devices that operates on the first three layers of the OSI model. OSI model transport layer, that is layer number 4. It manages the connection between the source and the destination to ensure that the data has reliable delivery. The transport layer accepts data and segments it for transport across the network. Transport layer is responsible for making sure that the data is delivered error-free and in the proper sequence. Flow control generally occurs at the transport layer. Flow control manages data transmission between devices so that the transmitting device does not send more data than the receiving device can process. Reliable delivery involves error checking and recovery. Error checking involves detecting transmission errors, while error recovery involves acting to resolve any errors that occurs. Connection-oriented service involves three phases: establishing the connection, transferring the data, and terminating the connection. The protocol is also responsible for putting the packets in the correct sequence before passing on the data. Connectionless transfer can simply send the data without the added overhead of creating and tearing down a connection. An example of this is similar to the difference between regular mail and certified mail. Using regular mail delivery, you mail a letter and assume it will get there. Using certified mail delivery, the post office contacts the recipient, gives them the mail, and makes them sign for it. Session layer, that is layer number 5, manages the communication between the applications after a connection is made. It sets up the session, manages the information exchanges, and then breaks it down when the session ends. The session layer establishes, manages, and terminates communication session. The sessions are coordinated by protocols implemented at this layer. It also monitors the identification of the session participants to be sure that only nodes that are authorized can participate in the session. An example of this would be a conference call. To connect, you need a participant number. The call is usually run by a moderator who decides who can talk and for how long. The call ends when the moderator disconnects. Presentation layer, that is layer number 6, formats the data for exchange between application layer and the session layer. Data compression and encryption also occurs at this layer. This layer converts incoming and outgoing data from one presentation format to another through the use of standard image, sound, and video formats, standard data compression schemes, and standard data encryption schemes. Presentation layer implementations are not typically associated with a particular protocol stack. Some standard includes Motion Picture Expert Group MPEG, Graphics Interchange Format GIF, Joint Photographic Experts Group JPEG, and Tagged Image File Format TIFF. Application layer, that is layer number 7, provides the user interface for communication. The application layer is the OSI layer closest to the end user, which means that both the OSI application layer and the user interact directly with the software application. This layer interacts with software applications. Application layer functions typically include file transfer, file management, message handling, and database query functions. It is a service layer that provides these services. Some examples of application layer implementations include Telnet, File Transfer Protocol FTP, and Simple Mail Transfer Protocol SMTP. Let us summarize the OSI model. Each layer of OSI model performs a particular function. This type of organization allows each layer to communicate only with its surrounding layers within a given host. Applications use layer 5 through layer 7 to communicate with another machines using the same protocol. Layer 3 and 4 defines how data delivery is set up and defined on computers that use the same protocol. Layer 1 and 2 define the physical and electrical signal characteristics. Between hosts, each layer communicates with its corresponding layer on the other machine, but only through the lower layers on both machines. Information being transferred from a software application in one computer system to a software application in another must pass through all of the OSI layers. For example, if a software application in your system has information to pass to a software application in a coworker's system, the application program in your system will pass it information to the application layer. The application layer then passes the information to the presentation layer, which relays the data to the session layer, and so on until it reaches the physical layer. At the physical layer, the information is placed on the physical network medium and is sent across the medium to the co-worker's system. The physical layer of that system removes the information from the physical medium, and then its physical information is passed up to the data link layer, which passes it to the network layer, and so on until it reaches the application layer. The application layer of the system then passes the information to the application program to complete the communication process. So this is OSI summary model, OSR layer and their major functions. Thank you for patience listening.